She's going to get us started, and then I'm going to come up. Clap your hands real good for her, please. She's just turned 17. She's been preaching since she was 14. Come on, clap your hands for her again. Is that the best y'all got for her?
Could you all please turn with me to Luke chapter 2, verse 42 and 49. Luke chapter 2, verse 42 and 49. Oh, the children are able to go upstairs now.
All right, youth church, youth church.
Can we clap it up for the youth church?
Hey, running. Excited for youth church.
Awesome. Amen.
That's from
Right.
12. That's up to age what?
Up to 12.
From 3 months to 12 years old.
Amen.
Woo!
All right, young people.
Go on, minister.
Amen.
I'm going to hit the front.
Clap your hands for my baby girl.
Can I sit right here beside you?
And that was Luke chapter 2, verse 42 and 49. Luke chapter 2, verse 42 and 49. I know you're ready when you're standing.
Can you see it?
And if you don't have a Bible, the scriptures will be put on the screen so you can follow along. Luke chapter 2, verse 42 and 49. And they read this way in the New King James Version. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem according to the custom of the feast. Verse 49 reads this way. And he said to them, why did you seek me? Did you not know that I must be about my Father's business?
Amen.
You may be seated.
Amen. Come on here.
This month, we have been in the theme of productivity, meaning this would be the month that we would get things done.
Amen.
And I must confess that upon hearing this, I immediately grabbed hold upon this word because I too have a lot to get done. I know, like many of you all, we have stacked up our plates miles high, wanting to accomplish things not only by the end of this year, but at the end of our lives. And like many of you, the time frame for how long we have to get these things done is constantly getting shorter by the minute.
Yes.
That's why hearing the word of productivity is so important, because it ensures that what needs to happen will happen.
All right.
And this leads me to the topic of today, which is, it's going to happen for you.
Amen.
Say that to your neighbor. It's going to happen for you. I can attest to feeling a sense of fear concerning the future and what my life has for me up ahead. Before knowing my exact purpose in life, I had always looked towards the future, hoping all the things would come together, not truly knowing how my life would turn out. I remember fearing high school and thinking I wouldn't be as prosperous in high school as I was in middle school. I remember fearing driving because it was something that was so new to me. And I know that many of us can relate to those feelings of uncertainty and doubt about the future. But today, I have come to tell you that it is going to happen for you. I remember on one occasion, I was talking to a group of friends, and one of my friends within that circle made the comment, I don't want to die without making an impact. When this was said, it sparked so much feedback between each of us because we all desired to do something greater. The fact of the matter is, we don't know how much time we have on this earth. And every day is not promised. Whether you're old or young, your ending day could be today. And the never-ending question is, what did you do with that time? How are you capitalizing off your own life? And what things have been done to ensure a prosperous life? What I have learned is that life is a journey. And what I mean is that there are certain roads and paths that we all will have to take to get to our desired place. And Jesus, at the age of 12, said he would get on the road of righteousness, signing away his life to complete his destiny.
Yes.
Which leads me to my first point of today, which is the person is important.
All right.
The scripture that I read in your hearing, Luke chapter 2, verse 42. Luke chapter 2, verse 42 says, "And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem according to the custom of the feast." Jesus was 12 years old, declaring his destiny, showing us that age does not matter. Life does not discriminate on the basis of age, so neither should we. We are never too old or too young to start anything. If you have an idea, we work on it now, and we start now. We can't think we have time because we don't know how much time we truly have.
Yes.
Who told you you were too young? Who told you you were too old?
Amen.
You told yourself. But today, just as I said before, it is going to happen for you.
Amen.
Our age is not a stumbling block, but it's a stepping stone. We can use who we are now to propel us into our future. If Jairus' daughter was not too young to face death, then Jesus wasn't too young to conquer death.
Right.
If you are the oldest in your class, then so be it. Your wisdom is needed there anyway.
Amen.
It's going to happen for you, so why not now? 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2 says, and I paraphrase, that now is the acceptable time. Now is the day of salvation. It is in you to do it now. Some ideas you have, you've been waiting to bring those forth. But the ground is ready for you to put in your seed and bring forth your harvest. Step into who you are now. Remember I told you guys about that conversation that I had with those girls? Well, the same girl who made that comment is now 17, owning her own international makeup company. When I tell you that you can start now, that your destiny can start now, today is the day for it to start now. Nothing is more perfect than who you are right now. You are exactly where you need to be. Who you are is exactly who you are supposed to be. The power is within you, and you are capable of doing it now. So start now. But I digress, because not only was this a lesson that was learned, but Jesus said he has to be about his Father's business. What was his Father's business? Well, that can be summed up in Luke chapter 19, verse 10. Luke chapter 19, verse 10, when Jesus has states, "For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost."
That's right.
Knowing who Jesus was propelled him into his destiny.
Amen.
And this leads me into my next point of purpose chooses your path. Say that to your neighbor. Purpose chooses my path.
Purpose chooses my path.
Because Jesus knew his destiny at a young age, he did not waste any time. But what Jesus did was that he buckled down at the age that he was and got into position to get to where he needed to be. The Bible reads in Luke chapter 2, verse 43, Luke chapter 2, verse 43, when they had finished the days, as they returned, the boy Jesus lingered in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother did not know it. Within the life of Jesus, there were many times where he had to separate from people, even his family, to get the job done. And the same goes for us. There will be times in our life where we have to be isolated from others to get into our destiny.
Amen.
I believe it was Dr. Miles Monroe who said, vision narrows your life. Once we find who we truly are and discover who we are supposed to be, suddenly it is like a tunnel vision automatically comes within us, and we go straight towards our destiny, blocking out every other distraction, every other thing, and every other person that is a hindrance to our destiny. I remember before I had gotten saved and I was hanging around a group of girls. I knew they weren't really my friends, but they were just somebody to keep me entertained. But when I got saved, I literally began to stand out from everyone else. I was no longer around the same people. I wasn't reading the same books, watching the same things, or thinking the same thoughts. But my newly cleansed body cannot be around the same old people going towards the same old things. I had got a vision, and my vision told me that I was bigger than what was happening now.
Come on.
begin to get tunnel vision towards your destiny, you flee from everything that could resemble the opposite of your path. And why is that? It's because what you see for yourself is far greater than what you may be looking at right there. So I encourage you, if you sit alone, congratulations.
Amen.
You're not going where they're going. I don't want to go in the same path. I don't want to walk in the same way. I don't want to think your same thoughts. I'm different. I'm supposed to be. I don't need to be like you. I don't want to be your friend. Thank you. But as it is written, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for those who love him. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9. So what your eyes have seen and what your ears have heard is only the beginning. Don't let what you see to cause you to think it's okay if I stay where I am. But no, go where you're supposed to be. Stay where you are supposed to be and wait. Because what God has for you is far greater than what you could ever imagine. So you wait and sit in expectation. Because he's not even done bringing to manifestation all he has promised. And when we wait in expectation, we work with expectations. This leads me to my final point of productivity is your power. In that Luke chapter 2 verse 49, Luke chapter 2 verse 49, Jesus said, I must be about my Father's business. When Jesus said this, there was such an urgency within his voice. He knew he could not stay where he was, but it was time for him to do what he was called to do. He was basically saying, there is no other thing for me to do but my Father's business.
Say that.
Likewise, when we know our purpose, a sense of urgency begins to fill what's on the inside of us. We can't help but to go towards what we are called to do. I believe it was called fire. When fire gets on the inside of you, all you know what to do is to do what God is leading you to do. Once you become productive in your purpose, nothing can slow you down. The word productive means producing or able to produce large amounts of goods, crops, or other commodities, meaning that everything that comes into your life, you multiply. And when you become so busy producing, you won't be able to be given unto other things. You're so busy making things that you don't have time to look into other ways. For instance, when a woman is pregnant, no other thing can make her pregnant again. It doesn't matter what may try to come or what may try to get there. It can't, because something's already forming. And the same thing is what it is with us. When we are forming our destiny, when we are working towards who we are supposed to be, it doesn't matter what may try to come, what may try to get in, what may try to come on the side, but we are already working. A wheel is already turning towards our destiny.
Amen.
No matter what may try to come against us, it can't prosper. When we are productively working towards our destiny, Isaiah 54 verse 17, Isaiah 54 verse 17 says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is from me, says the Lord. If God is for us, who can be against us? Productivity is propelling us to new heights and greater opportunities. Once Jesus was working within his purpose, he was given the opportunity to teach the older people within his sphere. A productive spirit ensures your success. It moves you to where you're supposed to be. It aligns you to where you are going. What is the goal or vision you see for yourself? What plans have you made to get there? I'm here to tell you, today is your day. You can get to exactly where you want to be. It doesn't matter how you look, what you may have gone through, but today is your day. Did you mess up a lot? That was expected. Do you not like school? That was expected. Don't worry about what it may look like. All of us were born with a marker in our hand, and now it's time that we write out our destiny. Don't wait. The foundation has already been set to succeed. Through Jesus, we have already become conquerors. Will you